What's up, guys? I'm David, and this is one of your flipped mini lessons for your in-school technology teacher-led PD. And this one is, do you want to build a Nearpod? This one's all about Nearpod. You're actually going to build a Nearpod with this lesson. So the first step in Nearpod is logging in. No kidding, right? All right, so to log in, when you first go to Nearpod, and do this on your computer, you're going to go to log in right here at the top. You're going to press that button. Now, you have the option to log in with Google, Microsoft, or you can create a Nearpod account. So click on what works for you. In Fulton County, you are getting Microsoft Office 365, so if you already have it, you can log in right away with that. I've tried it, it works. The other way to do it is to create a Nearpod account with your school email with through the with Nearpod, and because that will make it easy for them to do the paid upgrades if they want to give that to you. So after we log in, let's explore some options. It's always good to do that little bit of exploring first. So the first option, really when you log in, you're going to come to this menu that has 5 menu choices. The first one at the top is called My Library, and this is where your published Nearpods go and where you can launch them for students. Right underneath that is Explore. Nearpod has a full library of ones you can actually buy, and with a few free, and so you can explore those there. On Join, it just allows you to join somebody else's. Where you're going to live and breathe a lot is in Create, and this is where you actually create your own. And then last but not least, Reports is where you get all that really good data that you want. Now, to get back to this page at any time, unless you're in a Nearpod, you always, and even if you're in a Nearpod, it's always the button in the top right. A lot of times, or top left, excuse me. A lot of times it's a house. Sometimes it's, if you're in a Nearpod, it's an arrow. But if you want to get back to this page, that's how you do it. Now, so the Explore function. Now, under Explore, when you click on this, it basically takes you to a presentation store where you can get pre-made Nearpods. Many are not free, but they add stuff to this all the time. There's all sorts of people who are creating content for Nearpod and a lot of really good stuff. And some of them are not that expensive if you do have to pay. The next one, and the next two of the other ones that we'll talk about is Join and Reports. The Join button lets you join somebody else's Nearpod if you're already logged into Nearpod. Think if you're a co-teacher and you want to log in real quickly, that's a way to do it. Then Reports is where you can get access to all the data that Nearpod's going to generate for you. So let's do what we're really here for. Let's start creating a Nearpod. So the first steps here is to hit this button right here, hit Create. And then you're going to go to the page. You can see I already have some that are published, but yours should be pretty close to the top if you've never worked with Nearpod. And you're going to hit this button called Add Presentation. So this is basically you're adding a Nearpod presentation. And so really you're going to add, where you want to start is add teacher created content. And so what you're going to do is after you click Add Presentation, it's going to come up with an untitled presentation. Then you're going to click this button, and that's going to be Add a Slide. Now, when you want to add teacher created content, you're going to click Add Content. And teacher created content gives you lots of options, but think about this as everything that you can already put in a PowerPoint. These are all the teacher created content delivery kind of options that you would want. And then you have lots of options to pick from. And so you have slides, videos, audio, slideshow, and then you have some others that are more paid features. So to move to the next step, click on which one of those you want to add, and then it will add it as a slide in your Nearpod. All right, so to add a presentation slide, you click on Slide from the content, and you can add text, images, or audio to that. Now, the easiest and most design-friendly way to add presentation slides into your Nearpod is to go into something like a presentation maker like PowerPoint or Keynote and save the slides as images. So on Keynote, go to the File menu, click Export to, and follow the directions to get to images. On PowerPoint, you go to Save As and you change the file type to JPEG. Once you're done, you can either click Image and find it on your computer, or you can split screen and you can drag them into the box. And so when you're done, hit Save in the bottom right, and that will save your slide where it's a slide in your Nearpod. Now, adding websites. A paid feature that's great is the button when you open up the button that says Add Content and Add Activity, the button in the middle that says Add Web Content. And this is where you can actually add a website to your Nearpod. And it's a really great feature because it creates a walled-off space for younger kids. So really, again, to get there, click Add Slide, then click Add Web Content. Put the URL in the box, hit Save, you're done. Now, getting into activities. So to get to activities, you click on Add Slide, click on Add Activity, and then you can choose one of the activities at the bottom. There's really great creative ways to use all of these activities. And some things to note here. First off, quizzes, you can add multiple questions. And so it makes it even a little better than what you would have in PowerPoint, because with a PowerPoint, usually it's one question a slide. The other thing that's to note here is that when you do a whiteboard, the way the whiteboard works is it's default a blank whiteboard. But when you drag an image into this box right here, it makes that image the background. So think like a math teacher. You could put an image of graph paper there and the kids could draw on it in the Nearpod. Great, great feature. There's lots of other things with Nearpod, but this will give you a really good background to get started.